Good afternoon, one and all. I, Vishasha Mishra, BCP-CSR Aid, on behalf of Bombay College of Pharmacy and BCP-CSR Committee, would like to welcome you all for the most informative session, that is, Pharmacy Profession Awareness Campaign. We have observed that many of students attracted towards pharmacy awareness during this lockdown situation. So, to enlighten their knowledge on what pharmacy is, what are its various fields, and what are its scopes, we have organized this session. Pharmacy is not just a profession, it's a passion to save many lives in this world. To gain more insights on this, we have our honorable speakers for today. Professor Krishnapriya Mohanraj, who is in charge principal of Bombay College of Pharmacy, and Mr. Pranav Ganatra, who is founder of PharmaCAD. Welcome you, ma'am and sir, and we are very grateful to have you here today. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Vaishnavi Adani for introduction to our speakers. Over to you, Vaishnavi.
Good afternoon all. Today, I am very delighted to introduce our first speaker of event, Professor Krishnapriya Mohanraj. Ma'am is the in-charge principal of Bombay College of Pharmacy. She is a PhD holder in pharmaceutical chemistry. She had been part of more than 22 research publications and a recipient to number of grants from government agency and industry. Ma'am is a lifetime member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. She is also a lifelong member of Association of Pharmacy Teachers in India. She is part of many consultancy activities like Department of Clinical Pharmacology, TN Medical College and BYL Nair Hospital, Mumbai, GSK Pharmaceuticals Limited and many more. She is awarded with the UK Indian Education Research Institution Staff Exchange Programme 2011 by British Council. She also received Professor M.L. Khurana Award for Best Paper in Medicinal and Synthetic Chemistry in Indian Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences in 2014. We are really glad to have you, ma'am. So I request ma'am to take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you all see my slides? Is it in full screen view? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
But it is not in full screen. Can you do that? Put it in full screen. Or should I stop sharing and
Ma'am,
then
you
do it
can,
again?
ma'am, you can start the slideshow mode.
Okay. Wait, I'll stop share and share screen again. Okay, now is it in slide full screen? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you can start now.
Okay. So welcome everybody to this session on awareness of pharmacy as a career. And we have today even Pranav Ganatra, who would be giving you a great insight into, what is pharmacy, what would be the opportunities that you have, and how you would go about even making an application. In this, I would like to mention to you that I am going to take a few minutes just to ignite that fire in you for what is pharmacy and how pharmacy can be a very good career choice. So, to know about pharmacy, I would like to first mention to you that when I did my BPharm, okay, I did it at CU Shah College of Pharmacy. I was one person who was very interested in chemistry, and I just applied for, chemical engineering at UDCT at that time. Now it is ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology. And it was just an acquaintance who brought this prospectus of CU Shah College of Pharmacy. And in that, I saw that, there are many chemistry subjects, like we had biochemistry and organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry. There were many subjects like pharmaceutics, pharmacology, which I didn't know what it means also. And just like that, I'd applied. And the insight to me was, okay, there is something. I love chemistry and I would like, to be part of this particular program. So when we come to pharmacy, you will know that it deals with everything related to the drug or the medicine. Okay. We're not talking about the other type of drugs of substance of abuse, but we're talking about the drugs which are very, very useful. And by definition, a drug is a chemical substance used in treatment, cure, prevention, or diagnosis of a disease, or used to otherwise enhance physical or mental well-being. Okay. Now, when it comes to this drug, okay, anything related with how you are going to make it, to how you are going to make it into a formulation, that is into a tablet or a capsule, all the things, I would say that the pharmacy curriculum, that is the BPharm curriculum, has a mixture of everything. Like I had an interest in chemistry, and I found that the pharmacy curriculum gives me something for that. Somebody would be interested in biology. Somebody would be interested with natural products. They also have an insight. Somebody may have and wants something to do with engineering. Okay, I am very, very interested. Now everything is going into artificial intelligence and machine learning. They have a scope. Somebody must be very good in writing. So you have pharmacy journalism, pharma journalisms, like you have, many, like Express has, Indian Express has Pharma Pulse, that is Pharma Biz. So in each and everything. So I would say this would become a course which is jack of all trades, and you should also say that you have to be master of all. It can't be master of none. So coming to this, so if I have a medicine, so I know all of you might be aware when you have fever, you take Crocin. Okay, so let's start with a, Crocin is the brand name. Okay, that is marketed by, you can say, a company. But really, the drug which is there is paracetamol. Okay, I don't know whether you have heard that word paracetamol, but somebody had to discover paracetamol. So we had drug discovery. Okay. Then you had to synthesize the paracetamol. Somebody has to synthesize on a large scale. So a chemical engineer, or a factory which will synthesize API, means the active ingredient, means the active pharmaceutical ingredient. I think not. I hope I'm not able to get the what is it, the laser pointer, but I hope this cursor you are able to see. So you have API synthesis. Now I have paracetamol powder. Just imagine you have a drug which is paracetamol, and I tell you, you take 1 teaspoon of it, quarter teaspoon, 10, 1/4 teaspoon. It's very difficult, and your dose will not be proper. So I have to make it in two different formulations. I can make it into a tablet or a capsule. Or if I'm talking about children and geriatric people who have difficulty in swallowing, I can make a syrup or a suspension. These are all called as formulations. So I cannot just give paracetamol like that. I have to make it into a formulation. And that's where lot of things which will come in your manufacturing. And before manufacturing, I'll have to do something called as drug development. Okay, so I will see what would be the dose needed. I'll come to that in the later slides. And once I even make a nice paracetamol or a nice formulation, I'll have to analyze, have to see that I give a very good quality product. So for that, I'll have drug analysis. So since we are dealing with the health of the patients, it's very important that there is very less toxicity. It's made very, very pure. And we have the regulatory people. Okay, who would regulate that? How are we going to analyze and when it is going to come out? And what, suppose we have the Food and the Drug Administration, FDA, which controls and which lays down standards, that these are the standards this which have to be followed. Okay, and they are having the drug inspectors and the rest who would monitor whatever is the quality happening. Okay, and if I have anything and I want to sell it, I have to have sales and marketing. So you would find that about all these things you will learn in your BPharm course. And you learn it slowly, starting with basic subjects. Because if I want to synthesize something, I should be strong in my organic chemistry, If I want to know how a drug is acting, I should be able to know the anatomy and the physiology. I should know pathophysiology, what happens during a disease condition. Okay, so I'll be learning all these things. So let's say that if I had to do drug discovery, now it's COVID times, everybody is talking about the vaccine and how the vaccine is being developed. So you will find that many times whenever we have to look at drug discovery, we test many things and then we find out, okay, we get something called as hits, which we progress on to leads, because I may have something which may be very active, but if I take it orally, it won't get absorbed, so it's not of any use. So how a drug is acting, I'll come to that later as in pharmacokinetics. And then it comes as a drug candidate. We have to do clinical trials. So we will go to the next. When we talk about drug development, we will reach the clinical trials. Yes, so you have pre-formulation. First, you will do some solubility studies, you will do polymorphism, what type of API, with what type of formulation I can make. So you have a pre-formulation, then you will go on to make the formulation, you will do the clinical trials, and that's many, many years. It takes a lot of research and a lot of money and a lot of inputs for a drug to come out into the market. So In drug discovery, we can look at traditional medicines, we can look at analogs of known drugs. Okay, the structure is that I have cimetidine, after that I got ranitidine. So I can look at similar analogs of known drugs, or I can look at natural sources. Okay, I'll give you an example later about, from the willow tree, you got salicylic acid, and then from that aspirin, a very common drug. Modern approach, you have histoleads, combinatorial chemistry, rational drug design. Uh, these are all the modern approaches which are used in drug discovery, where rational drug design uses computer knowledge, where you are doing computer aided drug design. Combinatorial chemistry looks at, doing things, making mixtures like natural products. God made millions of compounds to come together. And then finally, anything that you test, you may get a hit first, which I say, okay, this much activity will be there. But it doesn't become a drug. We have to modify it so that it has good pharmacokinetic properties, that is absorption, distribution, elimination patterns. So, just an example is, you all know about morphine, which came from opium. And though it was used as, it is now also used as a very, very good painkiller, it's very addictive. And because of that reason, then there made lots of difference of analogs, and finally arrived at compounds which are having the painkilling property of morphine, but not having the addictive nature of morphine. Okay, so these are a few of the derivatives which were developed. So you will find that these are how different analogs are made. And another example is penicillin, which came from natural source. And then afterwards, the various analogs, ampicillin, amoxicillin, these agents were done. And you have different classes also, which finally were initially done from the penicillin. Okay. So nalidixic acids and the fluoroquinolines. Okay, this is one of my favorites, where, you know, God made millions of compounds, and I told you it's from the willow tree that, salicylic acid, small compound, organic compound, okay, was isolated, okay, and then its analog, which is aspirin, one of the analogs. It showed very good activity. Then they have done manipulation of the structure to have greater efficacy and fewer side effects. And one is ibuprofen. Most of you must have heard of combiflam. Okay, so it has paracetamol and ibuprofen. Okay, very, very commonly used drug combination. Ibuprofen and paracetamol. So this was what I told. When we start with so many compounds. Then we funnel down at drug discovery stage. Then it comes preclinical stage. That is when you're doing the animal studies. Okay. And from clinical, then you'll have 5 compounds. Then they do all those clinical phases. Clinical trials have different phases, 0 to 4. And in which safety of humans, effectiveness in treating disease, larger scale safety and effectiveness, long-term safety. Finally, with all these results, it goes to the regulatory authorities for approval. And then that is how a drug comes into the market. Billions of dollars are spent in this. Okay, this is just one way of hit to leads, whatever is going on with lead optimization and high throughput screening. Sometimes, you want to screen many compounds. So you use the technology where you can test thousands and of compounds in a day and check on some biological targets. So that's why biochemistry, biotechnology, all these become important in pharmacy. And I told you about small molecules, but there is now the greatest trend now in the pharma industry is the biopharmaceuticals. All of you are aware of insulin is used in diabetes. Okay, it's a peptide, but and it's something which we are not synthesizing and making because it's a large molecule, but we generally do genetic engineering and try and get as common as before. It used to be they had porcine insulin from from pigs, or now you have bacteria will be making. It's genetically engineered that whatever you want as a secondary metabolite which is present, the bacteria can be engineered, genetically engineered, and you can get what compound you want it to make. You can make modification in its genetic structure and tell it to synthesize any compound that you want, which is a big complex moiety. Okay, so that's why you have to learn about biochemistry, biotechnology. And this is one example that you have a combinatorial libraries are done, and many thousands of compounds, different compounds in a scaffold are synthesized, and the testing is done. Okay, this rational drug design, I already mentioned to you that you have different molecules. This is called as a receptor. In our body, we have receptors where your drug will go and act. It can be enzymes or it can be receptors. And only some moieties are able to fit into the receptor and produce its action. So, this is how you will learn all these different aspects in the pharmacy field. Okay, this I have already covered. This formulations. So, I have your ointments, I have tablets, I have an ampule, which is an injectable. I have creams, I have syrups, I have soft gelatin capsules, I have hard gelatin capsules. So, all of this. Now, one very important point I forgot to tell you, that is, you also learn about cosmetics. Okay, so we have a subject on so the creams and the lotions and the lipsticks and all these, how you are going to make it and how they are going to make, you can make a nice product by it, whether it be a nail polish or it is a color product, any other like your rouge or your foundations. All this, these also we learn in pharmacy. Okay, coming to drug action, I told you when I have the medicine, I take it. Whether it's getting absorbed, whether it's getting distributed, it is going to be metabolized. That is, it is going to be converted into something else and it's going to be excreted from the body. Okay, when I take a medicine, it should not remain in the body. It should do its action and then afterwards it has to get metabolized and then excreted. So you will study about this also. And now I'm coming to one of the last slide. In the last 50 years, you can think of, there were many things which we were doing for synthesis. And then we had biocatalysis, conjugation, high throughput screening, directed evolution. And the next 50 years, you are going to have 3D printing, you can have molecular editing, machine learning, and that's how drug discovery is going to blossom and see that. So if you want to be a part of this wonderful journey of taking a moiety from the discovery stage right up to marketing it and being helpful to patients who are suffering and mitigating their suffering. If you want to be in such a profession, then pharmacy is the right profession for you because you're doing a great service to those who are sick, those who have ill health, those who are suffering. To them, you are giving a lease of life. So if you want to be part of this journey, then you will join the pharmacy course and the pharmacy profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful information that you provided to the students. It will definitely help them in future. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker for the day, Mr. Pranav Ganatra. Sir is a BPharm graduate from Mumbai University and the founder of PharmaCAD, which is the biggest industry-linked pharma academy in India, and also the founder of Pharmacocracy. He is lifetime member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association and a certified life coach. Sir has been General Secretary of IPA-MSB-SF in the year 2011-12. He has been a faculty of chemistry for JEE, NEET, CET at Premier Coaching Institute across Mumbai with more than 7 years of experience and has coached around 2000 plus students. Now I would like Sir to continue with the session.
Pranav, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful information that you have given to the students. And thank you so much, Pratiksha, for the warm introduction. Can I have my screen sharing on, please? I have already shared my slides. Yeah, perfect. Hi, welcome to PharmaCAD. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just a moment. Just give me a moment, guys. Yeah, is the screen visible? Could you please confirm?
Yes, Pranav.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, once again, and thank you so much, ma'am, for the information that you have provided to the students, and thank you so much, Pratiksha, for the introduction. So let us discuss more about what pharmacy is as a career and as a profession. Ma'am has already given you the students the technical, the scientific approach of how beautiful the science or the technique is in pharmacy, and I am going to speak about how to get into this profession and why, as a student, it would be more important. To understand what exactly we are trying to do. So, usually, what happens is when I talk about the definition of pharmacy, it's a standard definition. It is a science of dealing with drugs, diagnosis, treatment, cure for any disease or any individual. आप लोगों ने ये पढ़ा रहेगा when we were in standard 11th. You had this chapter called some basic concepts in chemistry, and I'm pretty sure you have done this branches of chemistry in the first chapter itself. So there was one branch called pharmaceutical chemistry. Let us discuss more in detail about that branch. Why usually students take pharmacy? Okay, so usually students take pharmacy because NEET, if you know the NEET exam, ज़्यादातर बच्चों को अभी मैं अगर पूछूंगा कि आपको क्या करना है, so there are many students who would say I want to do engineering. There are many students who would say I want to do medical, but there are very few students who will say I want to do pharmacy. Now, is that because there is no career option? Is it because वहाँ पे स्कोप नहीं है? ज्यादातर बच्चों को अगर कभी पूछेंगे कि स्कोप का बात क्या करते हैं, तो स्टूडेंट से कि engineering has good career options. Students say that medical में अच्छा career option है, but pharmacy में students feel that there is no career option. Okay, I'm sure even ma'am would agree when I say this, that there are a lot of people जिनको pharmacy और farming के बीच में भी difference नहीं पता है. When you talk to somebody and tell them that I am doing pharmacy, there are a lot of people who would say that अच्छा agriculture कर रहे हो. So ऐसा नहीं है. There is a huge difference between farming and pharmacy, and today let us speak about it. So when I say that यूजुअली बच्चे मेडिकल करते हैं या इंजीनियरिंग करते हैं, फार्मेसी क्यों नहीं करते हैं, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू अबाउट इट. इट इज नॉट अबाउट द लैक ऑफ स्कोप, इट इज अबाउट द लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस. लोगों को पता नहीं है कि एग्जैक्टली फार्मेसी में कितना बड़ा करियर है या कितना बड़ा प्रोफेशन है. अभी थैंक्स टू द कोविड पैंडेमिक, मेनी ऑफ यू हैव स्टार्टेड नोइंग द वर्ड फार्मेसी. नाउ यू गाइज नो अबाउट वैक्सीन्स, नाउ यू गाइज नो अबाउट phase 2, phase 3 trials. So now everybody knows the scientific terminologies as well. So this is by far the best time when we can tell you more about what pharmacy is as a profession and as a career for the students. Let's take this further. अगर लोगों को फिर भी लगता है कि फार्मेसी में अच्छा जॉब नहीं मिलता या अच्छा पैकेजेस नहीं है, so let me put it this way. This is the value of the Indian pharmaceutical market as per the recent most study of October 2020. So just 3 months back, just 3 months back, this was the value of the Indian pharmaceutical market, which is 1,51,809 crores. So if you still feel that pharmaceutical industry does not have enough money in it, I don't think इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा डेटा आपके पास मिल सकता है where you can see how much money is involved in this industry. So अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि यार jobs या careers difficult होंगे, the numbers are in front of you. Let me take this further. What are the major subjects with respect to pharmacy? Just a moment, I think. What are the major subjects in pharmacy? The first is pharmacognosy and pharmaceutical chemistry. If you remember, ma'am ने आपको बताया कि there is something called as drug discovery. We need to discover the drug, all right? So we have pharmacognosy and pharmaceutical chemistry. Pharmacognosy deals with herbal drugs, or I would rather say naturally occurring resources. And pharmaceutical chemistry जो है, that is synthetically prepared medicines. So we have naturally occurring medicines and we have synthetically prepared medicines. Once you have these two medicines, okay, naturally occurring या synthetically prepared, जो medicine जो intent से हमने बनाया है कि ये particular purpose solve होना चाहिए, क्या वो purpose solve हो रहा है, that is given by the subject called pharmacology. Okay, now once pharmacology is done, whether the drug is giving you the desired action, okay, हमने जो intent से ये drug बनाया था, वो intent अगर clear है, तो नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज हाउ आर वी फाइनली प्लानिंग कि ये ड्रग ह्यूमन बॉडी में कैसे जाना चाहिए, इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ टैबलेट और अ कैप्सूल और अ सिरप और एन इंजेक्शन, हाउ डज इट गो. So that is decided by the subject called pharmaceutics. And then फाइनली जो भी आपने टैबलेट कैप्सूल सिरप बनाया है उसका क्वालिटी अच्छा है या नहीं, वेदर इट इज ऑफ द डिजायर्ड क्वालिटी, बिकॉज इट इज डीलिंग विद ह्यूमन हेल्थ. एंड एज मैम ऑलरेडी सेड, हम ह्यूमन हेल्थ को लेके कोई चांसेस नहीं ले सकते. सो द क्वालिटी हैज टू बी spot on 100%, and therefore there is no margin of error in the pharmaceutical industry, which is taken care of by the pharmaceutical analysis. So these are the major subjects usually that students consider when we talk about pharmacy. काफी बच्चों का एक क्वेश्चन रहता है कि फार्मेसी में आने के लिए पीसीएम करना है या पीसीबी करना है. ऑलराइट, देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव ड्रॉप्ड बायोलॉजी and there are students who have dropped mathematics, but let me tell you it's either or. PCM के थ्रू भी admissions मिल सकते हैं, PCB के थ्रू भी admissions मिल सकते हैं. As long as you are decent enough with chemistry, you will not be struggling in this course. All right. As ma'am has already discussed about a lot of different types of dosage forms. In general, we call them as dosage forms. Okay. एंड ये हम लोग बनाते हैं इन द फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ साइंस इन्वॉल्व्ड गाइस. ऑलराइट, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ साइंस इन्वॉल्व्ड. लाइक व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू टीच दिस subject, when I talk about pharmaceutical chemistry or the branch of chemistry, मेरा एक सिर्फ छोटा सा थॉट रहता है. Like you imagine the science behind it. This is a small tablet. I am sure everybody has seen a tablet or a capsule. What is the size of a tablet in general? It's like very small. It's hardly like what, 2 grams or 5 grams or something. And जो इंसान वो टैबलेट को कंज्यूम कर रहा है, the person who is taking the tablet is like weighing good enough of 50 kg to at least 80, 90, 100 kgs. Okay, so जो एक 5 ग्राम की टैबलेट है, ओके, और उसके सामने एक 50 किलो का इंसान है. वी नो द कन्वर्जन, राइट? 50 kg into grams is like 50,000 grams. तो 5 ग्राम का जो छोटा सा टैबलेट है और सामने 50,000 ग्राम्स का ह्यूमन बीइंग है. लुक एट द रेशियो of the size of the tablet and the size of the person, and still that small tablet is able to cure the person. So you just try to imagine the science or the technology or the research that was involved in that, making that small tablet, ताकि एक 50 किलो का या 100 किलो का इंसान ठीक हो सकता है. Okay, so that is a beauty of this profession, and that is a beauty of this subject, that is pharmacy. What are the courses after 12th standard? आप लोग अभी 11th और 12th standard में है, so I would be speaking more about what's possible after 12th standard. All right. So let me take you further. After 12th standard, you have primarily 3 options. या तो आप डिप्लोमा इन फार्मेसी कर सकते हैं, या तो आप PharmD कर सकते हैं, या तो आप बैचलर ऑफ फार्मेसी कर सकते हैं, बी फार्मेसी कर सकते हैं. ओके, बी फार्मेसी becomes one of the most commonly pursued subjects after 12th standard by pharmacy students. एक सब्जेक्ट हो या एक कोर्स को हम डिटेल में थोड़ा आगे जाके देखते हैं. As I've already mentioned, it is through PCM or through PCB. There is no specification as long as you are good with your chemistry. Okay, yeah, chemistry में क्या क्या अच्छा होना चाहिए? अभी आपका जो current syllabus है, Chem 1, Chem 2, more or less pharmacy has almost all the chapters. Like first year pharmacy में pretty much आपका 11, 12 का chemistry और biology repeat ही होता है. Okay, you have electrochemistry, you have thermodynamics, you have chemical kinetics, you have solution and colligative properties. Then when we go to organic, you have hydrocarbons, compounds containing nitrogen, maybe even say the halogen derivatives of alkanes. तो काफी सारे chapters repeat होते हैं. So the transition from 12th to first year pharmacy is usually easy because हम लोग ने already वो चीजें 11, 12 में पढ़ी है. तो हमारे लिए understanding of those subjects becomes a little easier. All right, let's take this further. What is diploma in pharmacy? Okay, so usually diploma in pharmacy कौन करते हैं और कैसे करते हैं? After your 12th standard scores, HSC बोर्ड एग्जाम्स का जो स्कोर आएगा, डी फार्मेसी का एडमिशन आपके HSC के स्कोर पे ही हो जाता है. Okay, it's a 2-year course after 12th standard. Okay, एंड उसके बाद हायर एजुकेशन का प्रोस्पेक्ट में क्या है कि आफ्टर 2 years अगर आपको आगे अपग्रेड करना है तो डिप्लोमा के ऊपर आप बैचलर ऑफ फार्मेसी कर सकते हो और आपको डायरेक्टली सेकेंड ईयर बी फार्मेसी में एडमिशन मिलता है. ओके, सो लेट मी टेल यू यूजुअली ये कोर्स कौन करते हैं. यूजुअली दोज पीपल हु वांट टू इमीडिएटली स्टार्ट देयर मेडिकल स्टोर्स, okay, or get into pharmacy practice. These are the ones who do this course. या फिर ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स जिनको शायद नीट में या सीईटी में कम आ रहे हैं, ओके, बट रिपीट एग्जाम नहीं देनी है एंड दे वांट टू कंटिन्यू देयर एजुकेशन विदाउट एनी ब्रेक. Okay, so these students are the ones who take up diploma in pharmacy, do 2 years, and then join Bachelor of Pharmacy in the second year of B Pharmacy directly. Okay, then we have a PharmD, which is a pharma doctorate. Okay, काफी स्टूडेंट्स है जिनको अपने नाम के आगे डॉक्टरेट लगाना है, नीट के स्टूडेंट्स है जिनको डॉक्टर बनना है, but there are some students eventually who might not consider taking MBBS or some other course. So pharma doctorate is also one course which is available after your 12th standard. Okay, the eligibility is through your HSC scores, आपके boards के scores के through, and through some private entrance exams. Individual colleges have their own entrance exams for that. It's a 6-year course after B Pharmacy. Okay, and you get to work along with the doctors as patient counselors in their treatments and therapies. Okay, so this is something where you are directly working with the doctors to help the patients. So काफी बार when I interact with students, मुझे काफी students बोलते हैं 11th 12th में कि sir, we want to help patients, I want to become a doctor because I want to help patients, I want to help people. Okay, this is also one way where you can do it. If you are not getting a direct seat in an MBBS college, this is one way where students usually prefer to get into as a PharmD student. And finally, talking about the most commonly taken course and the most popular course with respect to pharmacy is Bachelor of Pharmacy. 12th standard के बाद CET के scores के या NEET के score से you can get admission in your B Pharmacy college. Okay, you need your HSC scores, basic eligibility of say 50% in all subjects, PCMB or PCM or PCB, and then your entrance exams. Okay, it's a 4-year course with 8 semesters, 2 semesters in every year. Okay, what is the possibility after B Pharmacy? Higher education अगर आपको करना है तो higher education में बहुत सारे options available है. Okay, you can do your M Pharmacy, you can do MBA, you can do a PharmD again. You can also go abroad for higher education. Okay, so you can do your M Pharmacy in India, you can do your MBA, you can have a PharmD, you can have MS, and there are a lot of other diploma courses available as well. All right, and why is it preferred? As I have said, most preferred pharmacy course by the students in India provides a broader spectrum for careers in pharmacy. जो भी आपको मैम ने बताया प्रीवियस स्लाइड्स में, दैट देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ ऑप्शंस. फार्मेसी था एक सेंटर में, इफ यू रिमेंबर अ स्लाइड जिसमें फार्मेसी वाज एट द सेंटर एंड देयर वर लॉट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, देयर वाज रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट और ड्रग डिस्कवरी. सो ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर अंडर दिस रूफ ऑफ फार्मेसी, B Pharmacy. When I do a diploma and when I do a PharmD, I have a restricted syllabus. But when I do B Pharmacy, I'm open to all the major subjects. And that is what helps me to choose what profession I want to get into after my B Pharmacy is done. Should I continue studying in pharmacy? Should I switch to management roles? Or should I try and help patients again? Or should I go abroad and do research and development? So there are all options available for B Pharmacy or after B Pharmacy rather. What is the standard fee structure of many colleges? There are government colleges, there are private colleges. Okay, so standard fee structure जो है वो government colleges का is somewhere around this per year, and for private colleges is somewhere around 1 to 1.5 lakhs a year. Okay, it could be more, it could be less depending upon the location of the college and depending upon the rank of the college. सर हमको पता कैसे चलेगा कौन सी कॉलेज अच्छी है, कैसे हम लोग को आइडेंटिफाई करना है, वो हम थोड़ा आगे देखेंगे. All right, standard or the average number of seats is 60 to 100 seats in almost all colleges. Okay, starting with 60 and going maximum to 100 or 120 sometimes, majorly 100. What is the approximate eligibility or cutoff, you can say? So if you are an open category student, if you are looking for a top government college, then the cutoff is somewhere around 99 percentile. But anything around 90 percentile can get you admission in a private college as well. Okay, there are a lot of good private colleges too in and around Mumbai. Since most of you are from Gyanodaya, which is I think in Thane, I think pretty much close to Vadavli, Kasar Vadavli or something, I'm not pretty sure. But so since we are all in Mumbai, so Mumbai में काफी सारे private colleges भी है available. All right, so we can consider this as one of our career options. I'll talk to you more about this as we proceed. Which are the government colleges or the main primary colleges in Mumbai? The top colleges being ICT, Bombay College of Pharmacy, KMK College, which is in Kolaba, and SNDT Siyusha College of Pharmacy. Just for your information, this is only a girls' college. Okay, so these are some of the best colleges which are in Mumbai for pharmacy students. If you get anything around 99 percentile and above in your CET, we are pretty much sure that you will be landing up in one of these colleges. And उसके बाद आपको नहीं देखना पड़ेगा, because then we have some very great professors in these top premier colleges. One of them was already speaking to you some time back, all right, and I have studied under her, and I know how great it is to learn from such great professors from these top colleges, all right. And we have the private colleges in and around Mumbai. So some of you, because you guys are in Thane, you can have something here. We have Vile Parle College, that is Bhanuben Nanavati. Then we have colleges in Chembur, again in Vile Parle, Bandra, Dombivali, Palghar, Belapur. These are all in and around Mumbai. There's a long list of colleges. मैं हर एक college का नाम अभी नहीं ले पाऊंगा. There's a long list. You can also check something called as the NIRF website. Okay, NIRF website. You can just Google NIRF 2020 and put pharmacy. You will get all the top, all the ranks of the pharmacy colleges in the country, rather, not just in Mumbai. So आपको पता चल जाएगा which colleges are good enough, which colleges are not good enough. You will be able to identify by yourself as well. Okay, a long list of colleges in and around Mumbai. As I've also mentioned here, the ranks can be checked on the NIRF website. There is no specific preference to the colleges. I have just randomly named them which are available in Mumbai. So a lot of colleges are there. Students don't have to worry कि admission मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. Comparatively, जब हम MBBS की या doctorate की seats की बात करते हैं, तो we have to worry a lot whether I'll get admission or not, whether I'll be able to save my year or not. यहाँ पे it is not like that. You have a relative higher probability of getting an admission without paying any donations, through your merit scores only. And there are colleges nearby us as well, Pune, Nashik, Ratnagiri. So a long list of colleges. What are the higher education options? Okay, so पहला हो जाता है, स्टूडेंट्स को एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि हम बी फार्मेसी में क्या करने वाले हैं, मेजर सब्जेक्ट्स कौन से होंगे, 4 साल में हमारे पास कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स हमको कवर करने हैं. आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन दोज. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कम्स इज, सर बी फार्मेसी खत्म करने के बाद हमारे पास आगे क्या ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. So as I have already mentioned here, B pharmacy के बाद the first option is possibly a Masters of Pharmacy, M Pharmacy. It's a 2-year course after BPharm. Then you can have an option of Core MBA, and then you can also have an option of Pharma MBA. Just to give you a quick idea of what is Core MBA. Now Core MBA management में जो core subjects होते हैं, उसमें एक होता है marketing, एक होता है finance, human resources, HR. Now ये जो 3 मेजर सब्जेक्ट्स है, मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस और एचआर, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये हर कंपनी को लगते हैं. सो व्हेन यू डू अ कोर एमबीए, देयर इज नॉट अ श्योरिटी दैट आप फार्मा कंपनी में ही आपको जॉब मिलने वाली है. ओके, देयर आर मेनी बिग कंपनीज हु वांट मार्केटिंग पीपल, हु वांट फाइनेंस पीपल, हु वांट द एचआर पीपल. ओके, एंड लेट मी टेल यू समथिंग. देन आपने वो एक बहुत फेमस मूवी देखी होगी कॉल्ड 3 इडियट्स. ओके, in the very famous movie, in that movie 3 Idiots, there is this character called Suhas, who is Kareena Kapoor's fiance, and Amir Khan talks about कि पहले उसने engineering किया, फिर उसने MBA किया, और अब वो अमेरिका में जाके बैंक में जॉब कर रहा है. तो जब बैंक में ही जॉब करनी थी तो engineering क्यों करी? Okay, so this is the same situation with pharma students as well. If you do a core MBA, you may end up in a company which is a non-pharma company. तो आपके जो 4 साल का pharmacy preparation है, that could be kind of wasted, at least for that particular job. Okay, आगे जाके आप उसको कैसे use करते हैं, that can be different. So in that case, instead of going for a core MBA, we have an alternative called Pharma MBA, where we can use our management skills and our technical skills of pharmacy and continue a job or a career in a pharmaceutical company itself. Then we also have the option of doing a PharmD. So जैसे 12th standard के बाद PharmD को 6 साल लगते हैं, वैसे BA फार्मेसी के बाद PharmD को 3 साल लगते हैं. प्रोसेस सेम है, सिलेबस मोर और लेस सेम ही रहेगा, सिर्फ द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द कोर्स इज डिफरेंट. You can also fly abroad to some of the major countries like the US, Canada, UK, Australia, Germany, okay, for your higher education, and that course is approximately for 1 to 2 years. उसके बाद अगर आपको और पढ़ना है या वहाँ पे ही जॉब करनी है, वहीं पे सेटल होना है, तो that is also one very good option. There are a lot of students who do that every year. All right. And then there are diploma courses of short certificate courses after B pharmacy. 6 महीना या 1 साल का छोटे छोटे कोर्सेस होते हैं based on the different job profiles. You have one coaching academy in your Thane near, I believe that where is this McDonald's, आपका Kapur Baudi some area, वहाँ पे एक coaching academy है which offers a diploma courses as well. So since you guys are in Thane area, you would know better. Okay. The next question comes is, what are the job opportunities? ये सबसे बड़ा question है, what are the job opportunities? Okay, let's see what do we have here. We have industry jobs, direct or industry or allied jobs. We can get into research and development. We can have formulations, production and manufacturing, quality control, quality assurance, regulatory, sales and marketing, product management. Again, as I've said, lot of job opportunities available here. Individually, if there are any questions, you can use the chat box. I am also checking the chat box simultaneously. If there are any questions, you can feel free to ask me questions. We can have clinical studies. This is more related to pharmacology to some extent as one of the subjects, if you remember, जो मैंने आपके साथ discuss किया था. Okay. Then we can also get government jobs. And when I talk about government jobs, you can get into drug inspector, food inspector, government hospitals. If you remember, ma'am had also mentioned about the FDA, that was a Food and Drug Administration. So that is your drug inspectors and your food inspectors. Okay. And then you can get promoted there as joint commissioners, assistant commissioners. All right. And finally, the commissioner of the FDA. So you can give government exams also after B pharmacy to get into these jobs or these organizations. Then something different. If somebody wants to do something different, then you can get into academics. You can start up your own business. You can start your own pharma company. You can start your pharmacy store. Okay, there are a lot of other career options that are available. So I'll just try to recap. We have this. I'll take you through the previous slide. We have the government jobs, we have the clinical studies, and we have the industry and the allied jobs. So ऐसा नहीं है कि जॉब्स नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है कि करियर ऑप्शंस नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम ये था कि अवेयरनेस नहीं था. सो काफी बच्चों ने सोचा था कि हम मेडिकल या इंजीनियरिंग करेंगे बिकॉज फार्मेसी में स्कोप नहीं है. सो आई होप दैट टुडे यू आर एबल टू सी दैट फार्मेसी में बहुत सारे करियर ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. ऑलराइट, एंड ट्रस्ट मी, यू गाइज आर स्टडिंग केमिस्ट्री इन स्टैंडर्ड 11th एंड स्टैंडर्ड 12th. ऑलरेडी आप लोग फार्मेसी का काफी सारा चीजें ऑलरेडी आप कर रहे हो. ओके, like you are doing this chapter called chemical kinetics. How many of you remember the chapter called chemical kinetics? Okay, so when I talk about chemical kinetics, आप लोगों ने अगर 12th standard के students है यहाँ पे, तो you would know that there is something called as the half-life formula or the integrated rate law. So all those things are used in calculating the expiry date of our medicines. Okay, all those things are used in our expiry date of the medicines. Then we have a chapter called equilibrium. Okay, in equilibrium, we have equilibrium constants, then we have solution and colligative properties. So all those are used to calculate or identify how stable of molecules are, even chemical kinetics to that extent, thermodynamics. Okay, so lot of subjects, there are a lot of chapters you are already studying which are very closely associated to pharmacy. So ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपको पता नहीं है. If you have a slightest of the interest for chemistry, I think this could be one of the best professions you could join with respect to chemistry. And taking this further, one very important question comes is, sir, what would be the salary structure or what are the standard salaries that students or people get? So this is a rough structure. This could vary. It can go below this also. It can go above this also based on a lot of factors: your college, your scores, your skills, your interview, and your profile. Okay, this is a very rough layout or a rough range of what I have seen in so many years, that starting salaries are so and so this way. Okay, so करना तो बी फार्मेसी है ही पहले, उसके बाद जब आप एम फार्मेसी या फार्मा एमबीए या आगे कुछ और ऑप्शन करते हैं, तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट द सैलरी स्ट्रक्चर में वेरी. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज अबाउट व्हाट फार्मेसी एज अ प्रोफेशन इज. हम लोग ने क्या क्या डिस्कस किया है अभी. We have discussed what is pharmacy. We have discussed the pharmaceutical market. We have discussed the major subjects in pharmacy, higher education in pharmacy, job prospects, and salary range. Okay, so all these things are possible in the pharmaceutical industry. There are a lot of people who make it big in this industry. Okay, one of the biggest persons. Have you heard of a company called Sun Pharmaceuticals? How many students have heard of a company called Sun Pharmaceuticals? Okay, there is a company called Sun Pharmaceuticals. Most of us know that it is one of the biggest pharma company in India, and it is run by a person called Mr. Dilip Sanghvi. Let me tell you guys, Mr. Dilip Sanghvi is not even a pharma person. He is not even a pharma graduate. He belongs to a commerce background. So if somebody from a commerce background can make it so big in the pharmaceutical industry, we are from science backgrounds. We are having more technical skills, or rather I would say information. We can always give it a try, right? We can always try to make it better. All right, we can try to reach that goal, and we can try to make it big in this industry as well. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this information helped you guys to identify that pharmacy may be career options kar sakte hai. And that is it from my end. And I think that's all from my end. Pratiksha, if you would like to take over. And thank you so much, students, and thank you so much, ma'am, for again allowing me to share the stage with you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding the students regarding pharmacy as a profession. I'm sure that it will be helpful for them while deciding their future career options. So, ma'am and sir, can we start with the question and answer session?
Yes. I before we go to the questions, I would just like to mention one part, because admissions are going on now. Not only do you have to have the CET percentile, there is also a requirement of having 40% in your PCB in your 12th standard. Okay, so if before it was 50%, you had to have 50% in your PCB. Now the government has gone down and made it 40%. I had a student ask me that I got 39 point something percentage in PCB in 12th, and I am not able to do. So it again depends upon, there are some concessions given to the reserve category students also, but it is very important that you should not neglect your 12th standard HSC. First thing is, it's your basis for you. Many things that you learn in 12th, 11th, and 12th, you're going to use in your pharmacy. And don't concentrate only on your competitive exams. Okay, so that would be one advice to you. And another thing that I would like to mention here is, like how Pranav told, you can be an entrepreneur. Okay, and have your own thing. That is one aspect which is there. We would want now, with the present government also giving a lot of emphasis on doing innovative things, doing skill based, everyone standing on their own feet. I would also say that that is something which many of the pharmacy graduates, finally end up. Initially, everybody takes up a job so that they learn the groundwork, and later you can become an entrepreneur. And one more point which has been missed out by both of us is, the insurance companies. Okay, they take in the pharma graduates. Okay, so whether it is Birla Sun Life or it is Kotak Mahindra, that's also one option where they see that all the claims, because we have the basic knowledge about a disease and the disease conditions, so the claims are processed, and that's also a big industry where the pharmacy graduates. Okay, subject has great scope for jobs after B pharmacy. All your subjects you have to learn. You can't pick and choose. It's not like engineering. In engineering, you will finally come civil or IT or mechanical. Pharmacy may jack of all trades, master of all. So you have to learn all the subjects will some way be useful for you, and how you look at the subjects, that is also very important, because you cannot have a mindset in come. I don't like mathematics, so I will not. We have remedial mathematics. We have, and everything is whatever is built. The pharmacy curriculum stresses a lot on the basic concepts. So all your basic concepts have to be strong, whether it is chemistry, whether it is biology, whether it is mathematics, whether it is even things like communications. That is one thing which is stressed. Whether it is law, whether everything you have to have a great you have to learn that well, and just by marks you are not selected in for a job. When you go, how you present yourself during the interview, how do you give your written exam, that will decide how you are going to get a job or not. Okay, so all subjects you have to be. Next, I think Pranav, we can do alternate. So the next question you can put.
So thank you once again, ma'am, for focusing on these points. So here is our first question. Which subject has great scope for jobs after BPharm? This is by
We want
Pransh.
Shasha. We finished that.
I think the
No,
ma'am has
we
already
finished.
answered
I've
Okay, okay.
answered
Manish,
that question.
that.
yes, ma'am. Sir, this one is by Sunidhi Pandey. Sir, can you please highlight on drug inspector after pharmacy?
Yeah, so
Pranav,
I
you
would
can do
just give you the yes, thanks, ma'am. So I would just give you the gist, Sunidhi, or any other student listening to this. Is after you finish your B pharmacy, drug inspector exams होते हैं. Usually, drug inspector exams are for government jobs, obviously. But उनका एक छोटा सा problem है कि उनका कोई specific schedule नहीं होता है. Okay, like drug inspector exams can happen any time of the year as per the vacancy requirements. Like how JEE and NEET have a specific date, like that drug inspector exams do not have a specific date of the year. But yes, the advertisements for the drug inspector exams are always there in top newspapers. And if not in Maharashtra, then कोई और state में vacancy होगी, but throughout the year कहीं ना कहीं तो vacancy चलती रहती है. Okay, one. Then second is you need a minimum experience of around 18 months in a
mention here.
manufacturing department or sorry, yeah, in a
No,
manufacturing department or a
I would
regular.
like to mention.
Sure, ma'am.
Sorry, Pranav.
Sure, ma'am.
I would like to mention here that in your UPSC exams, you need not even restrict yourself, or the state MPSC exams. You need not restrict yourself to domains of only pharmacy. We had recently one of our students finally went into department, and she was so very clean. She was very athletic, and she gave the MPSC, and she came the first among the girls. Okay, and she wanted to do it. She took 1 year off. Means after her BPharm, went to a coaching in Pune. She was from Mumbai. She went for this coaching, and so whatever is your dream, your will, that is what it counts, and nothing is impossible.
Perfect. Absolutely true, ma'am.
The next question.
So, sir, next question. This is by Chirag Kala. Which entrance exam has to be given for PharmD after BPharm?
Uh, Yeah. So there is no specific entrance exam, as I have already mentioned. It's your HSC scores, and if there is a particular college इनका खुद का entrance exams होता है, so then you have to give the entrance exam of that particular college. Like when I talk about PharmD in Maharashtra, there are hardly 2 or 3 colleges that are offering this PharmD course in Maharashtra. One of them is Pune College of Pharmacy in Pune, obviously. I think it's also BVP Pune. Then we have a college called DY Patil. Okay. So these are the colleges that are offering a PharmD course. But you have to give their own entrance exam if it is there, or else if they are taking admission through your HSC scores, we are good to go.
Okay. Next question. So ma'am, it's by Miran Mishra. D Pharmacy, PharmD, and BPharm. Which one are the best?
Okay, D pharmacy, PharmD, and B pharmacy, which one is the best? See, now if you want to do a PharmD, is would be that you are interested in clinical, working in a hospital. If that is your interest, then I would advise you that you go and do PharmD. Okay. Now, diploma in pharmacy is a 2-year course. And even after diploma, it is not that industrial pharmacy, yeah, you can't work in the industry, you can only put up a medical shop. No. But now, with more and more students having BPharm graduates, the industry generally prefers BPharms or MPharms. So, uh, uh, it would be, I would advise you try for BPharm. You're not able to get in, then, and you still want to do pharmacy, you can do a DPharm and get it through lateral entry. I had seen in the comments section somebody asking that what entrance exam has to be given for when you are coming, for lateral entry. No, once join for a DPharm and your score should be good, because a merit list is put up by the Directorate of Technical Education, and there you will get the number of seats are restricted. Like you have 10% of the total seats being reserved for the diploma students lateral entry into the second year BPharm. So it is very important that you realize what you want to do finally. What are your resources? If your scores are very good, you will get admission into a very good pharmacy college, government pharmacy college, BPharm, with fees like our college has a fees total thing of around 36,000 in a year. Okay. And for those who are, economically weaker, okay, the government provides scholarship. Plus, our college also provides under the Students' Mutual Aid Fund some support. So, I would say look at what is your score. What is the score where you would get an admission? And even if you're not getting in the government colleges and you can afford to go to the private colleges, I would say if you have an interest, do that. Okay. And if suppose your interest was just that I want to put a medical store and or I have got a lower score and I would want to do BPharm, I can spend one more year. Okay. Because if, DPharm done after 12th standard, you will spend 2 years and you will become an expert in so much of things that you will do much well when you join BPharm. Okay, because you have already studied pharmaceutical chemistry, you have studied pharmacognosy, you have studied a little bit of pharmaceutical analysis, so you become much more better in attending. So this is your choice with whatever, and I would tell you, please aim for the best, please work hard. There is nothing for hard work, no option other than hard, get a good score. And I would tell that you should aim at doing what interests you the most. Okay, that is very important. That do something that you have interest in. You want to do like Three Idiots, your interest is in photography, you go do photography. Don't come for engineering. But if you feel that with our insights given to you, that this is field where I will learn. I'm very happy doing pharmacy, and I have got to learn so much of different things, which I would not have got an opportunity in any other field. In any other field, it's not possible for me to have had the scope to learn so many different things.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
next question is Manish, please highlight the question. It's also by Ansha. M pharmacy students get paid so less. Is it true, sir?
I think I already shared that slide with you, and in fact, I believe Krishnapriya ma'am would be able to answer this more effectively because ma'am has been actively involved with the students of M Pharmacy as guiding them with their placements also. I think, ma'am, if you would like
Okay.
to answer this question.
Yes, yes, definitely. See, this was something which we even discussed yesterday in the BCP Alumni Association. We had Chai Pe Charcha. So, two of our alumni had spoken, and Primlata Madam, our placement in charge, put this question also, that why is it that industry pays less? Now, I would tell you that initially, in any field, anywhere you go, the initial payments are, but depends on you, and you can grow. That will that doesn't depend upon the field. It depends upon yourself. So if you join an industry and you are good, it is very easy for you to earn a lot. Okay, so this question was yesterday, that when you have n number of people available, okay, people even having done MSc also competing, and they are willing to work at much less pay. So the industry has to realize that when they get an MPharm candidate, they are much better off than by just doing an MPharm. I was working at SBK Cinema for some time, and our students were MPharm projects in the industry. Okay. And I placed one of my students in an industry for doing the project, and one student. And the next year, the person involved told me, I will take three students because I have found the difference between an MSc candidate and an MPharm candidate. So I would say that slowly the industry is also realizing, but if I'm having millions and I have to compete among themselves, unless you stand out and you, I would say, join the company, and if you are good enough, they will not leave you. My PhD student worked on drug design, synthesis, evaluation, finally took up a job in medical writing and in publications of the same. And he was so good at it, he was getting another job somewhere where the company told, we'll pay you much, but you stick to this company itself. So it finally depends on you. So don't ever complain that we are paid less. Okay? You prove your
Absolutely.
worth, and you sky is the limit. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Manish, can we have our next question? Sir, it's Kiran Mishra. Which college would be best for BPharm in Mumbai?
I don't think I should answer that. Yeah, Miran, I think we have already enlisted the top colleges, the top four colleges when we talk about B Pharmacy in Mumbai, being ICT, Bombay College of Pharmacy, KMK, and the girls' college called SNDT. Okay, these are the four major colleges that maximum students want admission into. Okay, if you ask me for the one best college, I don't think I should be answering about a particular best college, because all those colleges have their own specific positives and negatives. So I think it would be, these are the four major colleges that you can actually focus on: ICT in Matunga, Bombay College of Pharmacy in Santa Cruz, KMK College in Colaba, and SNDT College in Santa Cruz again.
So I
And
think this was the
I
last
would
question.
tell you, I would tell you that you, as Pranav told, you can look at NIRF rankings, National Institutional Ranking Framework, so which lists out the various colleges. Second thing is look at the place where you are staying. Okay? That would be my general means, that you look at the top colleges. If you are getting admission at these top colleges, good. If you're not getting, then look at how much time you would save during travel. Okay. And if it is any of the other colleges that you are looking at, that would be, I still remember one of our students who came and did PhD here. And during the BPharm, he was staying in Bandup and he went to the Saraswati Vidya Bhavan's College of Pharmacy was then at Bandup. Rane, he's now abroad. Okay, doing a very good this thing. So he did it at a private college, then came and did his master's and PhD at Bombay College of Pharmacy, and now he's abroad. And very good. And I would say that any college, okay, you will have the pluses and minuses. No college you can say is what do you say is 100% best in everything. So each and every college has the pluses and minuses, and every college, finally, how you come out from that college, even from a college which is right in the interiors of India, I would say, if you are good, you will do well. And even at Bombay College of Pharmacy, if suppose you do not take interest in the subjects, you do not work hard, nobody can help.
Thank you,
So
ma'am. Thank you.
please
Yes.
never, wherever you get admission is the best college, and work on it. Okay? What you get, that is the best.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So I think this was the last question. So thank you so much, ma'am, for solving the doubts of them. Thank you so much, sir. So now I would like to invite Miss Pratiksha to give her concluding remarks.
Now, I would request you all participants to fill the feedback form to download their certificates. The link for the same is in chat and also in the description. The link will remain active for 30 more minutes. So now I feel immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of entire BCP CSR committee. A very special thank you to our speakers for the day, Professor Krishnapriya Mohanraj and Mr. Pranav Ganatra, for gracing this event with their presence and sparing time from their busy schedule. Hearing your thoughts and information regarding the field of pharmacy was a great pleasure for us, and this will for sure help us all in our future. Your opinions have enlightened our minds and has given a correct path to our future goals. We cordially thank you for being with us. I would like to extend our special thanks to Dr. Galvina Pereira and Dr. Sagar Patel, our student coordinators, for their constant support and guidance to us. As no program can become successful with a single person, so
Thank
I
you.
extend my big thank you to our entire BCP CSR committee. Thank you guys for making this campaign successful with all your contribution. I also want to thank Bombay College of Pharmacy for providing this platform and giving us an opportunity to organize this event. Finally, I would like to convey our sincere thanks to all the viewers for their active participation in this campaign. Thank you so much, and we would like to end it here.
Thank you so much, Pratiksha, and thank you so much, ma'am, once again, and the entire team of Bombay College. Thanks, ma'am.